Education Department website. It's education.gov.za. There's a list of instructions on how to go about it. Hello, it's Ivinki. How's everyone doing? Welcome to another episode of Mobile School Podcast. Today we're talking about reopening of schools. As we all know by now that schools are reopening on the 1st for grade 12s and grade 7s. And the biggest question now is the department doing what's right by the children, and what can parents do? A lot of parents have been complaining that a lot of schools do not have equipment, a lot of schools have not been prepared. And what the government said when they gave out the presentation was that at some point things have to go back to normal. They're not rushing everything. That's why they're starting with only 2 grades. And if you want to homeschool your kid, you can do it from home, but you still have to register. So it's illegal, as mentioned in the presentation, that it's illegal to just decide that your child is not going to go to school. And they have spoken about parents that are very anxious about taking their children to school due to the fact that they feel like the government is not giving out enough information about the situation, which is not true, because the government has been very involved in telling people what's going on, how to handle situations regarding equipment. They've said they're going to provide children with masks, and they have said if you get to the school and you think that the school is not prepared or it's not sanitized enough, you can take your kid back to school. You can homeschool your kid. They've also said that if you feel like your school has been doing it properly, providing education to your child properly, that's even good. If you have internet at your house, you can stay at your house and talk to your school to still provide the online content. Also, we need to keep in mind it's only 2 grades. Yes, everybody's complaining that we're putting children at risk, but truth of the matter, at some point you have to go back to normal. There are children that are in townships that do not have access to internet, they do not have access to computers and smartphones, so they're not getting educated. Most of their parents are not working, but as we move to level 3, they have to go back to work and they have to take their children to school to be able to provide for their children. Nobody wants to queue for food while there's an opportunity to go back to work and make money. So on the issue of how to register your homeschooling approach, you can go to the education website. But if you're gonna decide that your child can skip school, you firstly will be breaking the law, but because of the conditions that we find ourselves in, you might get away with it, and that's fine. Your kid will have to repeat the grade next year, so don't come back and complain that your kid shouldn't have repeated. So there's also another issue about children that have respiratory illnesses. Like some kids have asthma. It was made clear by the Minister of Education that we are not going to cancel school for one child with asthma and punish the rest of the children, but we will focus on the one child and make sure they get the same education. So it's better for all the children in the grade to go back to school, and the ones that cannot go back because of asthma and other issues that they might have, they can also stay at home, and the department will try to make sure that they do receive their education some way, somehow. So that's it. Like, we need to just understand that we cannot bet against the government at this moment. They've been very communicative. They're trying their best to make sure that everybody's happy, and they realize they're not going to be able to make everybody happy, but at some point we need to move step by step. It's not like they're saying every child needs to go to school starting on the 1st. It's like, let's start with 1 grade, and like they said, we test in the waters. If this doesn't work, then we have to cut it down. It's not one of those they forcing everyone to do it. If you feel like you don't, and I repeat, if your kid is not ready to go to school, stay at home, try to educate them at home. In closing, we're going to introduce our new segment called Who Cares Anyway? So what happens is we just look at what happened and trended on Twitter. So on Monday it was Smeg, the brand, the Italian brand Smeg, which gets promoted a lot in South Africa by our celebrities because it's a luxury brand. So every picture they take about their kitchen is always put, their products are always put in the picture for some weird reason with a Smeg facing the thing. So on the education side, we need to talk about marketing and how this is bad for Smeg in a way, because now fakes are gonna be made. The same reason Batu, you can buy them for cheap, because as soon as something becomes popular, nobody cares if it's fake or real. On the pictures, it doesn't say if it's a fake product or not. So we remember what happened to Paul Smith. Everybody had a Paul Smith shirt. So when it comes to marketing, sometimes it's not a good thing for your brand to be too famous, because then it attracts fakes. What also trended was El Vovo. He was asking about school, but he spelled academically wrong. And that's how bored we are as a country, that a former celebrity can tweet something and it trends the whole day. But it is what it is. You need to spell check if you're gonna ask about education. I think that was the problem, as if nobody makes mistakes when they're typing. Yesterday, which was Wednesday, the same issue, aka and Casper, nobody cares about that. But also the cancel culture due to racism. We need to stop with this cancel culture. We need to be able to find out if people have changed, if people have been forgiven, and also whatever you tweet or you post on your social media, you need to understand it's gonna stay there forever. So, education side of what happened with the Bianca Must Fall is that be careful what you tweet, whether you're 14, whether you're 15, whether you're 12. The internet doesn't forget, and they will remind you of what you've tweeted, and they will destroy your future. And Twitter is not a place for you to score points by being racist, by being xenophobic, by being sexist or homophobic. In closing, we just want to say good luck to the Department of Education. We hope you guys get it right, and we support you as mobile schools. We think you could do a whole lot of things better, but at the moment you're dealing with a situation that no country has ever dealt with. And also, people must stop this thing of, oh, we looked at Denmark, we looked at France, this is what, like, shut up. If you saw it, trust me, the government has seen it as well. So you're not going to be the last word. But luckily for you, you live in a country that will say you have a choice. If you want to keep your kid at home, keep them at home. If you want to take them to school, take them to school. We'll do our best as a department to protect them. On that note, peace. See you again next week.